Hey guys, I'm here and it's summer here in Sweden. I read a newspaper. It's hotter here than in Spain actually. I don't know. It's super hot and it's been for a few days and it's lovely. I mean, I'm sweating like a pig, but who cares? Anyhow, I'm here to do a wrap up for May. In May, I decided to only read classics. And that went well, I guess. I read quite a few different picks. I finished a book I started last year, and I have no idea why I didn't finish it. When I picked it up again, I saw on Goodreads that it was actually almost to the point a year since I put it down, and I really liked it, so that's weird. Anyhow, let's get into the books. The book that I finished from last year is The Tenant of Wildfell Hall by Anne Bronte, and I loved reading Bronte again. I actually loved reading this when I picked it up last year, and I have no idea why I didn't finish. I guess work and stuff got in the way, but yeah, I was writing my dissertation, so maybe that's it. Anyhow, I really enjoyed this, and I got back into it quite quickly. I had maybe half the book left. I was into the part 2 because this is in 3 parts. The first part is about our protagonist Helen being in this new place with her son and having the neighbors kind of investigating her, like who she is, why she's living alone, what she's doing there, because she doesn't really talk to people, so it's kind of a mystery, and she gets to know someone. And the second part of the book is about her previous life and why she ended up in Wildfell Hall, and the last part just resolves the story, sort of, and I really enjoyed this. I mean, it's not better than Wuthering Heights. This is more joyful, I'd say. It's not as brooding at all, and I wouldn't say it's as cleverly or beautifully written, but it's still a great classic. It's quite long, 500 something pages, 540 sort of something, but it's really good, so I definitely enjoy it. I've seen a lot of people read this in May actually, so that was a nice coincidence, and I hope you guys also like this. I think I gave this 4 stars. Another book that I read was a very short read, but still a classic, by Beatrix Potter, The Tale of Benjamin Rabbit. I got this when we threw out books at the library, because this is kind of broken, you can tell, and one of the children's librarians gave this to me because she knows I like cute illustrations and stuff, and I was so happy because if you remember a while back I made a haul finding like 5 of these books in the original at second hand in English. This is in Swedish though, but still it's the same size and everything, and it has the illustrations of course, and this was super cute. I mean, kind of weird stories, but some of them are really good still, and I definitely recommend you reading Beatrix Potter. Then I read a Swedish classic author novella, and this is a proletarian author, like working class, and she's called Moa Martinsson, and this novel is called Fjäderbrevet, and I actually thought this was interesting. This is about like the Swedish working class people back in, can't remember if it's like early 900s, something like that. Yeah, early 900s, like 1900s, like 1910 or something. It was nice. Yeah, if you like novelists like I do, it's definitely worth picking up. And this cover is beautiful. This purple, I love it. Then I read a book that I loved, and it's a few short stories in one book. and it's from Modern Classics Penguin. It's Virginia Woolf, The Lady in the Looking Glass, and other stories. So the other short stories in here are A Society, The Mark on the Wall, Solid Objects, and Lapin and Lapinova. And I thought the first and the last short stories in here were the best, but I like them all, and I enjoy Woolf's writing so much. I just want to continue reading her like forever, especially her essays. I just think she's a brilliant person, or she was, and she didn't even have like an education or diploma or anything. She learned everything by her, like at home, being homeschooled, even though her family was sort of progressive. The daughter still didn't go to school or university, and Virginia Woolf's just so intellectual and well read. It's crazy. I definitely recommend this. I just want to read everything Woolf. I can't believe I've waited so long. So now I've read 3 works by her: The Voyage Out, this one, and Our Room of One's Own last month. Next up is an author I've never read before, and recently ordered 3 books by her in a vintage edition, which I love. And the book I decided to read first is Northanger Abbey, and the author is Jane Austen. No, I've never read her before. I've been quite interesting too, especially reading Woolf's essays, talking about Austen and how much of a clever like humoristic author she is, and I found her style being quite slow, and I could see the fun parts in there, but there's a lot of dialogue, and you can definitely tell a woman's life is not very adventurous from reading these kind of novels. It's very based on what I suppose Jane Austen was able to do. Like, this is about Catherine, her name's Catherine, going to Bath and like meeting people, being in society, and she's 17 years old. And this also plays with the gothic themes like Anne Radcliffe and such, and I haven't read any Anne Radcliffe, and I've heard you get the references more accurately if you've read her. I mean, I know of her and her work, so this is supposed to be more satirical, and I can see it, but yeah, I guess if you read Anne Radcliffe or more, I think you need to be more into, like, know of the Gothic Victorian age to actually find this fun. But it's a good book. I actually think she's a great writer, and I'm looking forward to read more of her. As I said, I ordered 2 other books in this series, Pride and Prejudice and Mansfield Park, and I think I also ordered Sense and Sensibility recently. I haven't got it yet though, so I'll continue reading Austen and liking her, hopefully. Next up is the, like, I should have read more by him this year since it's 400 years since he died, but it's Shakespeare, and I chose A Winter's Tale to read. It's been a while since I read Shakespeare. This is a Swedish copy, so it took me a while to get into it. I can't read this kind of thing on the train to work. I need to sit down, and even though it's short, I feel like I need to concentrate because I don't want to miss anything, since it's it's a play, so I want to get it. And Shakespeare is, even in reading him in Swedish, it's a bit difficult. I don't think I get a rhythm right. I never fully understand, but I like reading Shakespeare, and I've missed reading him, so I'm happy to have read this. And this was, it was pretty good actually. I like the ending. It's not his typical ending. I'm guessing is because this is one of his later works, if I remember correctly, because I saw Jeanette Winterson in a Swedish literature show recently talking about this and her book, The Gap of Time, which is the reason why I picked this to read from Shakespeare, because I really want to read Winterson's book, The Gap of Time. It sounds amazing. I almost cried when she was on the show talking about the book and her writing and her life, and I was like, oh, I need to read Winterson. I've never read Winterson, and I feel like she's gonna be a favorite author, and I just have a few of her books, but I've never read her. I guess I have I guess I'm scared or something. I'm not gonna like her, but I definitely like her as a person just based on the interviews I've seen. She seems amazing, just lovely. So yeah, this was good. I recommend it. It wasn't too difficult either, so you could definitely start with A Winter's Tale if you're new to Shakespeare. I believe you could do that. And then I read some poetry. I actually have like 2 poems left, but I'm gonna show this anyhow. And that's The Colossus by Sylvia Plath, and this is a copy they were going to throw out at the library as well because it's kind of broken, but I got it because, yeah, it's Plath. I mean, I have a bind up now with all her poetry, but still, it's nice to just have something small with you. I like Plath. I know a lot of people don't, and a lot of people love her. I really do like her. I love her. Like Bell Jar was my first adult read. I read it in high school in English, and I mean I cried at the seminar. But yeah, I really like her mindset and how she uses words, and yeah, I like her. I really do, and I like this, and I like what I read of and by her in general. Then I also read a book for the Feminist Orchestra book club, and this month's pick was Alice Walker, You Can't Keep a Good Woman Down. So these are short stories. I didn't believe that going into this. I thought it was more like essays, and a few of them read more like essays. You get Alice Walker's opinion very strong throughout the book, which, I mean, she's the author, so why not? And this is written in the 60s, 70s, and it's about different women, mainly black women, and their lives, like how they are portrayed at home or in public, or like what kind of things they had to deal with. So most of these stories are really punching, but I found I couldn't take them to me, every one of them. Like, I really liked the first story because I heavily has references to Elvis, which made it interesting, and I really sympathized with the protagonist not getting what she probably deserved. But then a few of the stories after the first one I couldn't really get into. I'm not sure why, if it was my mood set or whatever. I can't even remember what they were about. Sorry. But in the end, though, there were a few stories that really got to me, even though I'm not the kind of person portrayed in here. I feel like I could put myself in their position more for some reason. I'm not sure if it's the writing or if it was just me, like when I read it. But I really loved some of the stories. I mean, hate-love sort of thing, because it's really gruesome parts of it, like it's about rape and crap like that, and it's just heartbreaking. And yeah, I'm really happy I read this, but I don't feel like I'm the one to review it or anything. The last book I read in May is not a classic. It's a new picture book, which I think you've seen around BookTube, and it's The Journey. This is a Swedish copy called Flykten by Francesca Sanna. And this has gorgeous illustration. This is so beautiful. I borrowed this at my library. And this is such an important story about immigrants and a family fleeing from their home. And it's so beautiful. It's insane. I'd love to have my own copy of this. You can see her going by car, and it tells the story, and it's actually based on her talking to people that had to flee their homes. So this was amazing. I really enjoyed this. For a picture book, it's just like one of the best I've read, because it's so simple but also very clear and just so pretty. It's unbelievably pretty. Really. So yeah, that's what I read in May. My voice is so weird. Anyhow, let me know what you read in May and what your favorite books were, or maybe your worst book, because that's always fun to know. I feel very lucky to have read a lot of good books lately, so yeah, I don't know. Anyhow, I'll see you soon in another video. Talk to me in the comments and click that thumbs up.